Welcome everyone to the live stream. It has been a little while since we've had a live stream. It's probably been since December when we did our last live stream. We've done a couple of videos in between, but this is the first time back for a while. We've been super busy. One of the things we've been busy with is, well, I think probably taking up a majority of our time has been working with AI, trying to get all of the nuances of working with AI and having that integrate into the ACT CRM system. And we've been working with ACT themselves on a bunch of AI stuff. We've been working with our sponsor today, or actually not sponsor, but our partner, I guess, in crime, Continuum. And we're going to be showing you some integration here. I know that a lot of people have been chomping at the bit on, how do I start capturing notes and how do I start using AI? And there's a lot of moving parts, and AI has been moving at a speed that is faster than light, as far as I'm concerned. It's been a little bit crazy. So we're having fun and trying to get this stuff together, trying to make it easier for you as the end user to be able to take this stuff and integrate it into your life. We've been looking at AI bots. We've been looking at security. We've been looking at flow and function. So there's a lot of little pieces that we've been looking at to try to help take all of this new stuff and integrate it into your life. And ACT, who we partner with, is just going gangbusters with looking at how to integrate all this in and make it functional so that it's kind of like daily use type of stuff. Like you use your email every day, you use maybe texting every day, you're on your calendar every day. So these sorts of things like AI should be part of that daily experience, but how? And so, we kind of look at that. One of the big things, I guess, is capturing notes when you're having conversations with individuals, whether it's a face-to-face conversation, whether it's over live stream like we're doing here, whether it's Zoom, Teams, GoToMeeting, any of these ones that are out there, your phone. How do we have that? Collect that information and have it in a short form, showing, instead of having the full transcript, having kind of a summary note and say, hey, this is what we've talked about, and here's some action items. Now, we've done this with RingCentral, as we're partnered with RingCentral as well. And we'll be doing another live stream either next week or the week after. We're just finishing off the AI. We had to change some of the AI functionality with ACT and RingCentral, and that's coming along. And we're going to be having a web version coming out soon with ACT. And but today we're going to be talking about Continuum. And I really, really like Continuum because it works different than a lot of the AI bots or agents that you would have. So if you're using Zoom or Teams, a lot of times you're bringing in a third party that kind of sits in there like an individual, and you invite them into the meeting. And it's a little bit cumbersome. And so we wanted something a lot easier. And I tell you, Continuum hit the mark with how they interact. Now, Continuum is mainly focused on financial advisors. That's their main claim to fame. And they are a Canadian company, which I love. And so a lot of compliance for those who are in Canada and your financial advisors. But this can also be used for just regular people, and doesn't matter what vertical market. But we've been using it internally ourselves, and it's really good. I really love it. And you can kind of customize it to fit around how you want to use it. So I'm going to give you kind of the Reader's Digest version of this, because this is our first kick at the can with Continuum, kind of getting this interaction between ACT and Continuum. We'll be kind of working with them and kind of making some adjustments to this so that it's integrated more into ACT and a little bit more seamless than what I'll show you today. But this first kick at the can is pretty darn good, and the experience is amazing. So I'm going to jump into the next screen here, and I'm going to pop up. Now I've got ACT open in the background here. I'm going to pop up the Continuum screen. So this is Continuum. It is a separate app. We want to integrate it somehow into the ACT, kind of like we've done with RingCentral, and we'll be looking at that over the next little while. But for now, because this just came out, this integration just came out, like I mentioned, this is kind of the first kick at the can. So let me kind of go through Continuum with you. First of all, there's some settings here which you can set up here. You can set up your own facial avatar if you want, whether it's just a photograph of yourself or what have you. And each person that's in your team can have that on there as well. Put your name in, security. I don't have my dual authentication on yet, but I will. Preferences. You have a prep email. Again, this is geared towards financial advisors, but again, we've been using this, and I can use this, and you can use this in any industry. Again, I'll show you a few tweaks that you can make to this. Prep meeting email, again, more geared towards financial advisors. But how often should we, as business owners or people who are working in an organization, have a prep meeting of what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do in this meeting with this client? And then show meetings, events without attendees, that's turned on. So I'm not going to go through in deep dive in all of this, but one of the integrations, or one of the things I want to show you, here's all the people that are in our system as we're going through this, and this integration here. So we have a lot of integrations, and it does integrate with other CRM systems. But the two that you want to connect with is Microsoft. And when you log into Continuum, it'll automatically log you into your Microsoft account if you're using Microsoft. Now, if you're using Google, there's a Google connection here where you can link to Google so that your emails connect into there as well. I've got mine connected into Act. And when you go in here, you can see, well, it says it's not synced, but I did sync. And it's connected back and forth here. I'm not going to disconnect it and connect it. I'm going to do a separate video, an install setup video specifically for Continuum in more detail for those who sign up for it. And so that's the integration, and it's basically you just go connect like you would with HubSpot Connect. You do basically what is the name of your database, your username and password to get into Act, and you're in. Now, one of the caveats to using Continuum is if you are an Act user, and most of our Act users now are on the new system, they have, I think there's maybe a handful of people who are still on just the regular Act, but they'll be upgraded this year if they haven't been. But most of you are on the new Act Advantage, and you have to have Act Advantage if you're hosting your Act master database on your server. You'll need to make sure that you have a quick conversation with us, because this only works with an API connection to the Act database that's sitting on the Act server. So if you're in Canada, you'll have your Act database on the Act Canadian server. If you're in the US, you'll have it on the US server. And then what you do is you just take that remote and put that onto your server, and everything functions exactly the way you are. It's just now the master database is sitting in the Act Cloud so that you can grab it through the API. Now, if this is a little confusing, don't be too concerned about that. We can have a conversation. I can walk you through the steps. But it actually is really simple. But once you've done that, because we've already had somebody, a couple of people sign up for a trial of Continuum, and it wasn't connecting. And the reason is they didn't have it set up on the Act Cloud server, the master database. So once that's done, then you can connect in, and you're on your way. So now let's just go through the menu items. The main one that I want to talk about is right here, is called meetings. This is the main one. This is where we're doing the note taking. And there's a lot of other features in here, which we'll go in and we'll probably do a live stream with Continuum themselves, either with Jeff Parslow or Alex, one of the guys there, and we'll actually do a live stream with them and have them do a more in-depth demo specifically for financial advisors. But we can actually go through some of this today. So you've got your home screen here. It's kind of like a dashboard. You've got Ask Continuum, and this is an AI, so you can ask it any questions about interactions you've had with your clients, and it will give you a synopsis of whatever it is you're asking inside the Continuum environment. It does not do recordings. It only does transcripts so that it can actually capture what was said by each side of the party. And I've got Jared in the background here, and Jared is going to help me here as we go through this. We're going to have a conversation so you can see how this is captured. So the next thing we have is Pages. Now, Pages is a new thing. It basically, a Pages is where you can set up a format. So if I go in New Page, I can actually choose. Now, these are presets here, but you can set up anything. If you're not a financial advisor, you can set up a template, and then it will actually create a report that you can actually email to your client. And in the templates area, down at the bottom here, you can actually go in, and basically it's like a prompt. So if I go into insurance policy and I edit this, it's actually a prompt. I'm saying how I want this document to be organized and the information that I want to put it and where I want to put it. And you can put your logo in there, your branding, all of that great stuff. And then you can shoot this off as a summary to the client after you've had the conversation. So there's some pretty cool stuff that you can do. So that's templates, meeting notes, and then you can have, again, you can go and edit these meeting notes. How do you want it laid out? Again, you can go in here. Let's use client review. And if I edit this, I can actually set up how I want this transcript to go and what are the sections that I want to put in here. So whether you're a financial advisor or not, you can actually set up your own templates just by going new template and then giving it some instruction on how you want to do it. And I'm assuming, and I'll have to talk with Jeff or Alex just to see if there's some training around that. I'm sure that they have a little bit of a training session. If not, I will develop something for that. But let's focus on meetings. This is the cool part. Now, at this point in time, it links from a calendar standpoint, as you saw in the settings under integrations, it's linking to the Microsoft calendar. It doesn't link to the Act calendar at this point. So when we're looking at the calendar, it's actually looking at your Outlook calendar. So if you're using the Act calendar, which I'm hoping that most of you are, you may want to do a one-way sync, at least for now, from Act to Outlook, just so your Act calendar items are in Outlook, because that's what's going to show up in your meetings. So here, this is showing upcoming meetings coming up, and this is just the stuff in Act or in Outlook. So I don't have my Outlook or my Act syncing to Outlook yet, but that's something that I will do until we have maybe some integration with the Act calendar. It'll also show the past meetings that I've had and anything that was shared with me. Now, I've tested this going with the meetings from Outlook, and it works great. But I can also do what we call an ad hoc meeting anytime I want. So if Jared calls me up, which we're gonna have a conversation in a sec. So kind of just a back step. One of the biggest things with Continuum is it uses the mic and speakers to be able to capture the conversation and be able to create the notes. And what I mean by that is it doesn't use a bot or an agent, an AI agent or an AI bot to be able to capture this, where it will actually have to be part of the conversation. I can be in a Teams meeting, I can be in a Zoom meeting, I can be in a live stream like this, I can be on a phone call. It doesn't matter what I'm at, I can actually have this conversation. And that's one of the nicest things about this is it uses a different way of capturing the notes. And so I'm going to bring Jared on. Let me just bring Jared in here. I think Jared's in the background, but I'm going to bring you up here. Where are you? Where are you?
There you are. Hiding.
There you are.
Hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in sight. There he is.
There I am.
Now I don't know how well this is going to work because I've got my earbuds were kind of messed up. So there may be some echo cancellation stuff going on, but we'll give it a try. So I'm going to start a meeting here. And so I'm just going to go new. You get to go and put a name on this. So meeting with Jared. And I'm going to link this to Todd Miller because we use Todd Miller all the time as our test guinea pig in here. And so you can you can actually write some notes in here, stuff that you want to talk about, like have a bit of an agenda if you wish. And then what you do when you want to start is just go capture. And so now it's capturing the conversation. So Jared, let's pretend you and I are just having a quick Zoom meeting or whatever. It doesn't matter what kind of meeting, conversation we're having. And so tell me what you're looking for in Act software. Just give me a few minute thing. or a few
Just
second
looking
things.
for something that I can attach my emails to, that's reliable, has a reliable calendar, but also like it to be able to uh, pull up my contacts when I make phone calls. Be cool if it had notes that were, I could drag and drop some different notes from outside sources into it. Just kind of that's sort of the main meat and potatoes that I'm looking for Act to be able to help me with.
What's your
Yeah.
timeline for this?
Well, probably within a month, we're trying to switch from this other CRM. We'll call this other CLM, uh, I don't know, bad CRM, from bad CRM to Act CRM. And so I'd like to do that in a month. So 30 days, I'd like to switch our company. We'll have 15 seats, 15 users moving to that. That's sort of
Okay.
the timeline I'm looking at if that can be done. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put a proposal together and get that to you shortly. If
Mm,
you could send me
perfect.
a copy of your logo so that I can put that the quote, that would be
Okay.
cool. Would you be able to do that for me?
Sure. Yeah. No, I'll email that off to you later today,
All
Gary,
right.
and then you can do that.
Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna stop right here. So I'm gonna press stop, and then it doesn't do anything until you click generate. So I'm gonna click generate here, and now it's going to actually create the summary notes. And in there, once it pulls it up, so here it is. Gives you kind of a
Hmm.
brief conversation at the top. It says, what are the Axe CRM requirements, time and rollout scope, proposal follow up. And it'll even actually give you over here on the right hand side some suggested tasks that you can actually
Hmm.
create and put those into your CRM system, right? So you can add a
Hmm.
task, and there's some different suggestions like prepare to send a CRM proposal for 15 user migration. And so I can add that as part of this. Um, and it gives you a really cool uh, uh, I guess, summary of the conversation that we had. Now you
Yeah.
can put this into. Remember, I was talking about the different templates that you can use. You can actually create a template now that this will put it into a format that you want. I'm not going to do that because I haven't had chance because again, this just came out. I haven't had a chance to set up a kind of a demo for that. So I'm going to just leave it the way it is. Actually, maybe what I'll do. No, I'm going to leave it because it's going to do it more for financial advisor. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And what I'm going to do is just show you how this syncs. Now, you can copy the summary. I can actually send this on an email, like do a draft a follow up email. So I can click on here and it will actually create a follow up email for Jared. You can see
Ooh,
that it's
cool.
even put Jared's name in there. And then I can just copy this and paste it into my Outlook, and basically it's giving me a little bit of a follow up from our conversation, and then I can
Hmm.
attach the summary notes to that as well. So it's pretty cool. Now the next thing is I want to get this into Act, so we're going to go sync. Now there's a few steps here now, but this is going to get a little cleaner once we've kind of worked out some of the flow. Matt and I get to sit down with Jordy from Continuum and kind of just work out some of the flow things that we want to do. But I'm going to put in here Todd Miller because he's our go-to guy for this. So I'm going to set that up. And I can prepare and send a CRM proposal for 15 seats. Again, there's my action item. I can check that off, and then I can push that into Act.
Hmm. So I guess can you add multiple clients to sync it with, or like a company, or is it
That's a
just?
good question, Jared. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure if you can do multiple at this time. Again, this is really
Yeah.
new, so we haven't
Yeah.
done our full testing of it yet. And so
Yeah.
that was one of the things that are kind of on my and Matt's plate here is to kind of review this and kind of give some feedback and work on a few integration things that we see that could enhance this better. We've just been so tied up with the AI stuff that we're doing with Act right now that this is our next step. Okay, so now it's synced. I'm going to pull up Act. Where's my Act? There it is. So pull up Act. Now it's not in here yet. But what I got to do, and the reason is it's not in here yet, is I'm on a remote. I'm on a remote database right now. So it's in the cloud. I just wanted to have that so everybody understood that it's actually on the cloud version or the master database that I have. I'm just going to do a sync, a manual sync. This will do my sync goes every 30 minutes. So I could just do it and I'm off to the races and do something else. But I'm going to sync now just so I've got it on my local machine on my remote. And again, if you have a remote sitting on your server and everybody's accessing the remote, that would work really well as well. So now I've pulled that in. I'm just going to do a refresh. And here you go. There's our meeting notes. So there, it's pulled all of the stuff in. Now, drum roll, please, because I haven't tested this out yet. But there's our meeting notes. So now you've got that information. And if I go to activities, did it put an activity in there? Let's do today. No, it didn't put an activity. I haven't tested that part out yet. The activities coming across, so I haven't had a conversation with them. I was more about the meeting notes. So if anybody's going, well, does those activities come over? I can't remember from the conversation that I had with Continuum, but I believe that it does. It's just I haven't tested it out. My main thing was notes. That's our big focus for us is how do I get those conversational notes into Act so now I can kind of move on to the next thing, take those action items and create, or those, action items and actually create tasks. I believe it does. I will do a follow-up video or live stream with Continuum, and we'll actually go into more detail. But I wanted to get this out there right away so that people understood that, hey, this is ready because I've had a bunch of people chomping at the bit wanting to use Continuum. Now, if you want to use Continuum, and now we haven't, I'm not going to go through pricing because we're just working on some sort of introductory thing from with Continuum. So I can set you up with a trial. And if you're interested in a trial, just direct message me or give me a call, shoot me an email and just say, hey, yeah, I'm interested in Continuum and I can get you a trial. You can get it directly from them. But if you connect up with me, I'll know that you're actually using Continuum or trialing it, and that way I can help get any questions answered that you may have, and any tweaks that you would like to see, I can pass that on to them and to Matt so that we can tighten this up a little bit. So the more I know who's actually going to trial Continuum, the better that I can actually help wrap this around how you're going to use it. So you don't have to, but I think if you want to get give me some feedback, then I can work with the team on both sides, both Matt and with Continuum to pull this together. Jared, is there anybody asking any questions online that you can see?
Let me just check. I didn't say there's any comments on our YouTube, at least. That's all I can see at the moment.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I guess we'll just need more testing, but
That's the
pretty
thing.
powerful tool.
Yeah, I think
Just capture stuff. You don't have to review stuff or you have to make tons of notes the whole time and
yeah.
it's nice that it's on the fly. So it's not like just in Zoom or just in Teams or just in one application. It can be in anything you're doing.
That's
As long as
what
you
I
have
like
the
about
mic.
it. And what I'd
Yeah.
like to see is, like, say you're going to have a Zoom meeting with somebody. What I envision, and you guys give me some feedback in the comments. Give me some feedback. One thing I want to see is I want to see an Act. I want to be able to see a button where I can start Continuum. If it's not on, click it here, and start a meeting right away, right from inside of Act. That's kind of one of the
Hmm.
things I'd like to see is get a meeting going and okay, I've had an ad hoc Zoom meeting or Teams meeting. Bang, I click a button and it's now recording. It's capturing it. When I'm finished, I want to go complete. It's always going to do a review, but I want to be able to have that sync where it automatically pulls up the person. And I believe when I was talking to Jordy, I believe that's something that can be done. And with Matt's help, I'm sure that we can pull that, tighten that together. So I want a little bit more form and function and I would even like to see because we've done this before. We had Microsoft BI as kind of like if I go into campaign results for an example, and you can have a screen in here. We had Microsoft BI as a footprint right inside of Act. I wouldn't mind seeing Continuum because if you look how the form factor of this, that would fit nice as a window right inside of Act and be able to control it inside of Act as opposed to have a separate thing. So there's a few little things that I can envision making this a lot tighter so that the user experience is going to be more fluid for them as opposed to kind of a little bit jerky as far as using it. I think this is a real winner, and like you said, Jared, I think the biggest thing is that I can be on any platform. And one thing I'll show you, and I'll just pull it up here. Come on, there we go. It has, and this is a really big one for anybody doing face-to-face meetings. Is you've got Continuum on the phone. So I can hit the record button ad hoc and have a recording when I get back to the office. Now we'll have to kind of work out how that works on when you're on your remote, so it automatically goes into the contact. But right now, I can actually do it on my phone and have a face-to-face conversation. Have it on my iPhone or my Android. Click that button, set it on the table, have a conversation with him, and it'll do exactly what Jared and I just did. It'll capture everything that we talked about, set up the layout of what the summary notes would look like, and then you're off to the races. So I can have a face-to-face meeting. I can have a Zoom, Teams, phone call. It doesn't matter. I can capture the conversation now, and this is I think, one of the biggest advantages of Continuum over some of the other ones like Zox, for an example, or Quill, or
Oh
Fireflies. I mean, all these
yeah.
other ones. This is a huge one. It's not going to use an AI bot or an AI agent to be able to have to manage that and pull them in. It just is very, very fluid. So I think for those of you who are interested in leaning into this AI stuff, you want to try Continuum. Let me know. We'll get you a trial. And the guys at Continuum are amazing. They are just fantastic. If you need a little bit longer, or you have already had a trial but you let it expire because you didn't really get the chance to test it out, reach out to me. I can talk with Jeff, and we can get that extended so you can actually get a good feel for it before you make a commitment. Any last questions, Jared, that you have
No,
from
that's
us?
cool. That's very cool that you could have it on the phone too. So it's basically any device you're using for meetings mostly, you can record it and have
Yeah.
that summary for you and push that to your CRM. Very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. Okay, hold on here. There we go. So I hopefully this has been helpful for you. If you've got any comments, please don't hesitate to put them in the area. We read everything that gets put into the comments. Give me some ideas. Give me some thoughts. Your input helps us wrap this whole AI experience around Act deeper. And because of the relationship we have now with Act and with partners like Continuum and Ring Central and some others we're looking at as well, we're really wanting to help you get to that next level and use AI as a tool that can really help you get to that next level. So if you have any comments or anything that you want to add, put it in the comments area or reach out to me directly. For those of you who know me, if you don't know me and you don't not connected to our company, just message us in the YouTube YouTube comments down in the below. And for those of you who have my contact information, reach out to me that way. and we can help you out. Hopefully, you have today being Friday. Hope you have a great weekend and all the best. And we'll catch you on the next one. And just to be aware, we're going to be doing another Ring Central one with the whole AI feature in there, which I'm totally excited to finally show you with the AI stuff because it's been a long time coming. But there was a lot of hoops to kind of get over to get that AI part functioning the way we want inside of Ring Central. But that's another one coming up. And we look forward to seeing you on that one. All the best. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.